Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to Sunday's edition of the Big Mouth Daily, and we are live. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Every morning we give you entertainment headline updates, reading the articles that matter, keeping you updated with all the news. And of course, in the evening around 6:30 p.m. UK time, check your local times, I'm here to react to your comments and have a bit of a chilled out sesh, unless there's something big to report. Bobcat, hey Mickey, Bobcat, I knew Superman would be in the Suicide Squad. So did I. And so it's very, very exciting. So late last night, our very own Richie Moe sent me a screenshot of a conversation. A fan asked James Gunn if Superman, wow, you're very brave, mate. You asked, not Richie Moe, but whoever asked, if Superman's in the Suicide Squad. The most important thing is he did not say no. But we can go into it a little bit, actually, and look at the screenshot, because it's very unprofessional that I haven't got it set up already, by the way. I totally get that. So where are we? Here we are. So here we go. Restore the Snyderverse asks, will Superman have anything to do with your movie? James Gunn, Bloodsport is in prison for taking him down with a kryptonite bullet. If you believe these covers, he may not be the bad guy in that situation. Wow. Well. So, of course, this is very, very interesting. And we need to unpackage this and we need to discuss this, because it is exciting. But I predicted a long time ago that Cavill will probably cameo in every DCEU Earth 1 movie and piece of content on HBO Max, including Peacemaker. This will be a continuing thing, obviously. Now, if Cavill's Superman is in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and we don't know this for sure, just because James Gunn said that doesn't mean that, but it's looking likely. How will they do this? Here's my prediction. We will see a quick slow-mo of Bloodsport shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet. That's the kind of thing I think we'll see. I think it'll be very quick, fresh, in your face. It'll be awesome. So I don't expect Cavill's Superman to be in this film for long, but just to see that moment would be absolutely fantastic. And Warner Brothers have been making their business to tell us that this is going to be a very kind of fresh take on the DCEU, an interconnected universe, a shared universe with cameos, with the multiverse strategy, with the Flashpoint reboot of the universe, making the multiverse canon. Everything that's ever happened in DC live action, canon. That's amazing. The most groundbreaking thing would be if Bruce Timm's animated universe was also canon in this, and we could have live action with animated crossovers as well. Who knows what's possible here with what they're doing? But just to know that, he's asked the question and he doesn't say no. Is Superman in your movie? He doesn't say no. So that's amazing for me and very, very exciting, of course. And I just want to thank Richie Moe for making me aware of this, because obviously I'm not checking everything. I do miss things out. So I think it's amazing. But I don't think he needs to be in everything. But here, Black Adam and Shazam! Fury of the Gods makes sense. I think he's going to be in everything. I think he's going to be in everything Earth 1 related. This was reported a couple of years ago, and we haven't heard anything since. Because listen, Walter Hamada's come in since 2018. He's been making these plans. He wanted to call the franchise the Worlds of DC. But I do believe that he will cameo in everything DCEU Earth 1 related. This means not Black Superman, not the Batman. They are not Earth 1 DCEU. But I think the content for Earth 1 DCEU, there's definitely a chance he'll cameo in every one. Now, ultimately, I believe we will see a Henry Cavill Superman movie, probably written and directed by J.J. Abrams. We'll have to see about that. I'm not saying this is a fact. This is my theory. I expect Superman to cameo in every DCU Earth 1 movie. Listen, you know how I feel about Superman. You know how I feel about the cape. He's my number one character. He was the first superhero, in my opinion. He's the best character. He's absolutely relatable to me, and he should be there front and center. Everyone has their favorite characters, absolutely, and everyone would want their characters to get this kind of treatment. But we are talking about Superman here, and Superman means a lot to a lot of people. And as I've said, he is the number one. He was the first one. He is relevant. He is relatable. End of story. Bobcat, I love this Batman comedy I'm writing. I have title jokes making fun of birds of prey mainly. I hope it works out for you, Bobcat, and I hope you get the attention that you want, and maybe someone will see your genius and you'll be very successful. So, yeah, it sounds very awesome, my friend. And so the more we delve into this multiverse strategy, the more interconnected it seems to be. And James Gunn already saying that the Peacemaker will link in to the entirety of the DCEU as well. So that project really excites me as well. So it's clear that everything will be interconnected. Now, a lot of people trying to say, oh, the Flash movie isn't about the Flash, blah, 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 blah. Is Captain America Civil War about Captain America? Fucking hell it is, right? It's about his best friend. It's about him having to choose between the Avengers and his best friend. It's absolutely about Captain America, but that doesn't mean you can't display these other heroes. And it works. It works. This is what the broader audience wants to see. This is what I want to see, because I want DC to be the most popular, most successful comic book shared universe live action franchise around. I'm fed up of hearing how fucking great the MCU is, right? And it is, but I'm fed up of it. I want the universe that I stand and these DC characters to be on top of the mountain, because they are the greatest characters, and do them properly, it can work. Bobcat, people are saying aliens the government are catching are actually demons. What do you think about this? Oh, Bobcat, listen, I like a joke. And, you know, I was a big fan of the X-Files. And as a child, I looked into Roswell and all of this. Listen, I'm very interested, not in our solar system, but beyond our solar system. I'm interested in exploring that and what's out there. I believe there's life on other planets. I believe there's human life on other planets. Maybe not aliens, but other human life. Of course there's life out there. Have they visited us? Who the fuck knows? But when you tell me the aliens they're catching are actually demons, what the fuck is a demon? What's a demon? Sounds like nonsense to me, mate. But I absolutely believe in extraterrestrials. I absolutely am interested in exploring outside of our solar system. We know everything there is to know about our solar system. It's boring. Like from hell. Well, then well, I suppose you'd have to believe in hell then, wouldn't you? But obviously hell is about life after this plane of existence. And I'm not sure if there's anything after this plane of existence. But it's more plausible that there's life on other planets. I believe, this is what I believe, this is more out there than a demon theory. I actually believe that the Earth was created not by God, but by an alien race. And we're an experiment. And they were watching over us for many, many centuries and years. Then we were a failed experiment, and they moved away from us. We are absolutely, humanity is a failed experiment. And that's how I see it. So I think we were an experiment. Look at the human body. We have a mouth. We have a voice box. We can go to the toilet through our tools down there, right? We have kidneys that wash our blood. We were a design, my friend. No God designed us. Something in the real world actually designed us. It's obvious because everything we do, we are like a fucking machine. Everything we've got, arms, legs, everything. If that's not a design, I don't know what is. That's what I think about creation and humanity. And I absolutely would love to explore the solar system, the billions of solar systems out there, but I'm not interested in our own solar system. It's always interesting how governments go on about the moon. Boring. Talk to me about beyond our solar system, and I am interested. Don't care about the moon. Don't care about Mars. It's bullshit. You know there's more stuff out there. You probably fucking explored it. God knows what you've tried to do out there. And God knows what you've attracted our way. But our solar system, it's boring. Now let's get back to the entertainment. So, it's very likely that Superman will be in James Gunn's Suicide Squad maybe for a minute, maybe for 30 seconds, but blink and you'll probably miss it. But for me, this is awesome. For a director to be asked if Superman's in his movie and for him to not say no, and then we've already known. He's told us this ages ago that Bloodsport shoots Superman with a kryptonite bullet. I mean, he's literally waving the cape at us and saying, Jesus Christ, guys, what else do you want me to tell you? The guy's fucking in it, right? It's obvious. And it's obvious he's going to cameo in a lot of DCEU Earth 1 projects as well. And as I say, this really excites me because this is the new franchise they're doing, where characters can cross over with each other. Ask any fan, ask any DC fan what they want the most, an interconnected universe. But they can do more beyond that. We have an Earth 2 being developed by Matt Reeves. So that's exciting. There's other Earths out there. There's pre-existing Earths. There's Brandon Routh's Christopher Reeves universe as well. There's Michael Keaton's and Nicolas Cage's Superman and Batman Earth as well. There's so many things that can be explored. We've got a Joker sequel. The DC Black Label is a thing, nothing to do with anything else. They can be self-contained movies. That's exciting. What they're doing is giving you a bit of everything, an interconnected universe, but also separate universes that can be standalone, like the DC Black Label that will be run, hopefully, by Todd Phillips, who's a genius as far as I'm concerned. Anyone who can do comedy and drama like he can do is a genius. Okay, also to continue my randomness train, I don't know what to do about this girl. Do I just be straight honest with her? Probably would help, yeah. I mean, listen, honesty doesn't help. You look at our argument the other day, I was quite honest and direct because I lost my temper. Never helps. But at the end of the day, you can tell her where you stand. If you can't handle something, if you can't just take her how she is and how things are, then you're going to have to be honest. And if she doesn't like that, you're going to have to walk away from the situation. And that's the end of it. Don't make a drama of it. Don't keep on going over and over and over it. She either wants to be with you or she doesn't. But you both have to meet each other halfway. And if one half isn't willing to do that, then there's no relationship at the end of the day. Is there now? And so that's Superman cameoing in every Earth 1 movie and TV project. And by the way, because we've got a multiverse strategy, we now don't have just one Superman. We have Henry's Superman, who's still Superman. No one said he's not Superman anymore. No one said that. They would have told us if he had quit. He would have made a big kind of virtue signaling announcement, wouldn't he? Right? So he's still Superman. We've got the black Superman who hasn't been cast yet, right? We've got Brandon Routh's Superman because the multiverse is going to be canon then, right? Potentially Nicolas Cage's Superman who's never shot a frame of footage. That could be exciting as well. So we've got a lot of versions. We've got Tyler Hoechlin's Superman that people are loving. You know, Superman and Lois is uniting the Superman fandom now. That's very exciting. So we've got two Batmen in the Flash movie, potentially two versions of Wonder Woman and Aquaman and other characters. And obviously, we're going to have two versions of the Flash because obviously Grant Gusting's another version that I expect to be in the Flash movie as well. And you could even have a couple of versions of Harley, right? Cyborg. It is very, very exciting. But as I always say, it's always about execution. You can have an interconnected universe. What they mustn't do is just chuck stuff at the wall and hope something sticks. I hope this is a plan. I hope they've thought about this very, very carefully and it works. Not just for their sake, but for our sake as well. Sam Lejean reviews, will Brandon Routh be in the Flash movie? I expect him to be in the Flash movie and he's hinted that, Sam, yeah. Sam Lejean reviews, will Tom Welling appear as well? I expect Tom to appear, yes, I do. He's hinted a few things. By the way, I nearly forgot. And this was really big news, right? Thanks, Sam, for reminding me. There are big, big rumors out there from a DC account saying another account posted this rumor that a Smallville project is in development. Not necessarily a Smallville season 11, which I think would be amazing, but it looks like something in terms of Smallville is being developed for live action, a Smallville project. So let me be absolutely clear about this. If Alfred Gough and Miles Miller, the series creators of Smallville, or Kelly Souders and Brian Peterson, who ran the show after our Miles left from seasons 8 to 10 and wrote the show from seasons 2 onwards, if neither of those 4 people are involved, I will not touch this. I do not want Greg Berlanti running Smallville. Now, it's not that I've got a big issue with Greg. He's done a lot of good things. That's not the point. My point being is Alan Miles and Kelly and Brian understand Smallville. So if those people are not involved, please leave it alone. We had a wonderful 10 seasons. It was fantastic. But at the end of the day, if you're not bringing back the people who get these characters, these versions of these DC characters, please leave it alone. Now, if any of these 4 people are involved, preferably Alan Miles, of course, who actually Miller Gough Inc. own part of the rights of the show. Obviously, DC and WB own the rights to these DC characters. I understand that, but they do have some say what happens with Smallville. So this is very, very exciting. I would absolutely love to see a Smallville project being developed, but please, with the people who gave it to us in the first place. Bobka, iCarly revival in 4 days. Awesome for you. So let's hope this is true, and let's hope the original creatives are involved. Yesterday, I ranked my best, a list of my worst to best live action Superman, and Smallville was number 1 because I think Smallville is the best version of live action Superman. They did a great job. So no one would be more excited than me if this was to happen. Should we delve into this morning's entertainment headlines? I think we should. Before, not after, or not before, we have a glass of water. This is actually last night's disgusting. I can't be bothered to go into the kitchen again. Right. Bobcat, anyone got any good DC jokes? I'm afraid not, my friend. Well, I told you one the other day. In my Superman script, and it's not very funny, I admit it, someone tries to shoot Superman, right? So he grabs the gun, he breaks it in 2, and he looks at the criminal and says, "Where have you been? The Phantom Zone?" You get the joke, right? Because everybody knows that Superman's bulletproof. Anyway, that's all I've got for you, Bobcat. Sorry, mate. 4-4. Chris Hemsworth shares BTS Love and Thunder image with Chris Pratt. They look a bit drunk, don't they? It's always great to know that Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy is involved with this 4 movie as well. So this is what I'm talking about, interconnectivity. Fans love it. So Chris Hemsworth shares a new behind-the-scenes image from Thor Love and Thunder of him and Chris Pratt to celebrate Chris Evans' birthday by Cooper Hood of Screen Rant. Chris Hemsworth shares a new behind-the-scenes photo from Thor Love and Thunder with him and Chris Pratt as the Marvel Cinematic Universe expanded characters from different franchises began to interact. This was especially true by the end of the Infinity Saga, when all of the MCU heroes united to fight Thanos. These team-ups have delivered some excellent pairings between already established characters, and the comedic partnership between Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy was a huge hit in Avengers Infinity War. It certainly was. Bobka, I got some Jared Leto Joker jokes. Since Avenger Endgame ended with Thor boarding the Guardians of the Galaxy ship, fans immediately hoped that their next appearances would be together. That will happen in Thor Love and Thunder, as the entire Guardians team is slated to return with the God of Thunder. Wow, I didn't realize the entire team's returning. That is awesome. Unofficial set photos from the Australian production revealed the first look at as Guardians of the Galaxy working together, and the new costumes that most of the characters have in Taika Waititi's film. Now a new look at the team-up has arrived. Hemsworth kept Marvel fans updated with a new teaser for Love and Thunder throughout its production, and even though filming is done, his posts are not. The latest look shows he and Chris Pratt hanging out in between scenes and being somewhat goofy. The Instagram post was made to celebrate fellow MCU star Chris Evans and his 40th birthday. Chris Evans, interesting. With Hemsworth joking that Evans will always be his favourite Chris with this fun post, though Hemsworth has shared a great look at Thor and Star-Lord's next adventure. And this is the picture I just showed you. So this is from the Instagram post. So they're looking pretty happy. This close-up look at Thor and Star-Lord's new costumes in Thor Love and Thunder don't reveal too much that the original set photos didn't. Still, Marvel fans should get a kick out of the image and seeing a glimpse of the bond that Hemsworth and Pratt have together. Their comedic chemistry on screen is excellent, and that could be a direct translation of their off-screen relationship. While Star-Lord and the Guardians aren't expected to have big roles in Thor 4, the scenes that they do share are highly likely to be ridiculously entertaining. Since Thor's crossover with the Guardians is still almost a year away, hopefully the actors continue to give fans more teases of what to expect. With the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 also on the horizon, there is a chance that Thor Love and Thunder won't be the last time the God of Thunder works with the ragtag space group. A true crossover movie with these characters would be a major hit for Marvel Studios, and it could happen one day, especially if Hemsworth and Pratt really enjoy working together. I think what's going on here that Thor will leave, and Jane will be the new Thor, and she'll kind of New Asgard, she'll be running New Asgard, blah, blah, blah. So a woman's running it, and he'll be kind of shooting off with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe he's in it properly. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 properly. We'll have to wait and see. Look, I'm not just making fun of Snyder's work, though. I'm making fun of everything. Like I said, I got Birds of Prey jokes. Bobcat, I got some jokes about how Superman can't do it with anyone because he's made of steel and just impaled women and then pretends like he found the body. I think they did that on, I think they actually did that once on Family Guy. I think they did. I swear they did. The Walking Dead reveals first look images at final season. The Walking Dead has offered the first look photos at its upcoming season 11 showing. Carol, Maggie, and Negan bravely confronting walkers by Saeed Fadullah Husani of Screen Rant. The Walking Dead has released the first look at its upcoming season 11. The long-running AMC series, which premiered over a decade ago in 2010, follows an ensemble cast of survivors in a post-apocalyptic world that has been ravaged by zombies. Colloquially, whatever that is, referred to as walkers. Initially, the series was led by Andrew Lincoln's Rick Grimes, but after Lincoln's exit in season 9, other long-standing cast characters like Norman Reedus, Daryl, and Melissa McBride's Carol took charge of the show. Throughout the years, The Walking Dead has enjoyed a successful run. During its prime years, it was the most watched show in the 1849 demo. And although ratings have declined since then, they certainly have, the overall reception remains largely positive. The show has in fact expanded to encompass an entire franchise with 2 spin-offs currently on the air and more in the works. Last year, when The Walking Dead was just an episode short of wrapping up its 10th season, the COVID-19 pandemic broke out in the US, prompting the show to halt production. As a result, the season finale was delayed until October, and an additional 6 episodes were also added to season 10 that were broadcast through early 2021. But even before the show could return to complete season 10, AMC announced that The Walking Dead would end in 2022 with an extended season 11 that would begin airing in August. At the same time, 2 further spin-offs were also announced, one centered on Daryl and Carol, and another an anthology series based within the Walking Dead universe. Now there is another update concerning The Walking Dead's final season, and it offers a sneak peek at the show's forthcoming season. And not to forget, we're actually getting a Rick Grimes movie, which I'm really excited about. Bobcat, dang, I like that idea too. Well, you can still use it, but I think he kind of turns up, someone's dead, and I think they kind of imply that's what it is. The Walking Dead, via its official Twitter handle, dropped the first look image at season 11. The pictures find Carol, Maggie, Rosita, and Lydia fiercely facing off against a horde of walkers. Another image shows the nefarious Negan as he strikes down a zombie with a crowbar. It's unclear if the pictures are all from the same episode, but one thing is for sure, that is The Walking Dead is aiming to return to its humans versus zombies roots in its swan song. I think that's important. The human stories are fun, but we are in a fucking zombie apocalypse. Let's try not to forget that, and the show has forgot that at times. So, these are the pictures. You can't really see them that clearly, but there they are. So if I can describe them to you, as it says, you can see Negan beating up a zombie. You can see Carol and the other character that I don't know that well, and the other one's not a close-up. At the moment, plot details for The Walking Dead's final season are unknown. Of course, there is going to be the highly anticipated confrontation between Maggie and Negan and the Commonwealth, a vast and well-organised military group led by Michael James Shaw's armour-clad Mercer, will also have an important role to play. A Rick Grimes cameo hasn't been ruled out either, and the Bold and the Beautiful's Jacob Young is also expected to make an appearance as a mysterious character named Diva. As per reports, Season 11 will also lay the base for the Carol and Daryl spin-off, although it isn't known if the two would resolve their differences before the series end, and if they would stay in Alexandria after the events of the finale. So we're getting a Carol and Daryl spin-off, which I think is amazing. So although this show's ending, there's more to come. So it isn't really going anywhere to a point, but we're going to be losing some of these characters, sadly. Bobcat, some of my mock titles include Justice League and a bunch of unnecessary words that end with Batman in style of the Birds of Prey title, and this Batman v WB Lawyers Dawn of the Lawsuit. Right, that's very good. While the new images may not offer a lot of information about the storyline of the upcoming show, they certainly don't. They still hold an important promise, i.e. the actor in The Walking Dead Season 11, the action in The Walking Dead Season 11, will be the full-blooded. This means that there are going to be some thrilling fights, the consequences of which would give fans closure about the fate of certain favourite characters. The two key factors behind the success of the show have been its blood-spattered, brutal violence and terrifying zombies. However, in recent years, both aspects have been dwindled, evoking the contempt of fans, but now the show is going back to its unsparing ways. So fans should brace themselves for a satisfying, nostalgic conclusion that honours everything The Walking Dead has built and achieved so far. The Walking Dead's an interesting series that you can, when you're thinking of doing your own series, you should. Who's that? Oh, it's my gardener. Sorry about that. Yeah. So this guy, right, always comes at the worst fucking times. He really annoys me. Anyway, let's go back to talking entertainment, not my gardener. So, yeah, when you look to make a series or develop a series, you should look at The Walking Dead, because they basically started off with one showrunner, and I forgot the guy's name. He's a very kind of, a very iconic creative, and it didn't work out, and they got rid of him. And then they went certain directions. Then they brought in Scott M. Gimple, who's kind of steadied the ship to a point and done some really good things. I did stop watching it once Rick left. For me, it was the Rick show. That was the character I invested in. So I wasn't that interested in it. But I think it's a great show. It's an iconic show. I'm glad they're doing the spin-offs, and I'm glad there's more to come. And bring on that Rick Grimes movie. Andy Lincoln is a great actor, and he deserves nothing but success. So that's The Walking Dead, everyone. So what else have we got to talk about today? So this is an interesting one. Indiana Jones 5 photos suggest Harrison Ford will be de-aged with CGI, which we've discussed before. Indiana Jones 5 photos suggest Harrison Ford will be de-aged with CGI to bring a younger Indiana Jones to life for part of the movie. I think it's a huge part of the movie. So, by Cooper Hood of Screen Rant, set photos from Indiana Jones 5 suggest that the movie will de-age Harrison Ford with CGI. The iconic adventure movie franchise is returning for one last globe-trotting story after Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull largely left fans wanting a better send-off for Ford's famous archaeologist. Steven Spielberg is not directing the fifth entry in the franchise, and passed the reins to the series over to James Mangold. Indiana Jones 5 recently started filming and brought Ford back to set to play the adventurer once more. It's been a decade since he played the character, and many have questioned how the movie will use its 78-year-old star to potentially wrap up Indy's story. During the early days of production, set photos teased flashbacks to some of his younger adventures. The Indiana Jones 5 photos revealed a Harrison Ford mask being worn by a stuntman during a motorcycle chase action scene. It turns out that this won't be the only way that the movie makes Indiana Jones younger. Bobcat, Also, there's like a comedy club, and an announcer announces Joaquin Phoenix, and the crowd cheers. And then the announcer says they can't afford him, so they got Leto instead, and the crowd sighs. That's a good one. I like that. New set photos from Indiana Jones 5 were published online by the Daily Mail that reveal Harrison Ford will be de-aged with CGI for portions of the movie. Ford is shown wearing Indiana Jones' signature costume, but the star also has had black dots on his face. These dots are traditionally used as a reference point for VFX artists, so actors can be de-aged in post-production. Check out the photos in the link below. Yeah, I'm not clicking onto a link, but basically, I believe you and I believe the Daily Mail. He's being de-aged. It could be for a lot of the movie, could be for most of the movie. I think this film's going to be a disaster, but we'll have to wait and see. It is unclear how often Indiana Jones 5 will de-age Harrison Ford, and to what extent Mangold previously teased that the main story of the film takes place in the 1960s. But there are now multiple teases of a young Indiana Jones being included. The wonders of CGI can allow the movie to take Indy back multiple decades and various points in time, if that is what the story calls for. Since all of that work will be done in post-production and the photos don't include any clues about when this scene takes place, Indiana Jones 5 could explore almost any period of time in the adventurer's life. This is interesting. I mean, how young are they going to make him? Could Phoebe Waller-Bridge be playing his mother if he has flashbacks? That's interesting as well. Now that Indiana Jones 5 has multiple methods to include a younger Harrison Ford, it should be fascinating to see exactly why a younger version of him is needed. The movie could open with a previous adventure of Indiana Jones that connects to the main story, like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade did. It also can sprinkle in flashbacks to his younger days throughout the movie. If that is better for the story, regardless, it will be fun to see Indiana Jones in this prime again in Indiana Jones 5. So viewers will have to hope that the VFX works is top notch to make it believable. Yeah, because it's not. It's going to get ripped apart by the public and the media. Bobcat. Also, I'm assuming Harley and Rick hook up in the Suicide Squad, so we see Leto's Joker walk home in the rain after being booed off stage, only to find Harley hooking up with Rick before crying to sleep. Bobcat, I'll adjust that joke if otherwise. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? So very interesting there. I do think he's being de-aged. How much he's being de-aged is going to be interesting. Now, Disney do have good de-aging technology, and they're very, very good at it. I think they're the only ones that have done good with it so far. With de-aging, you've got to be careful. When they de-aged Robert Downey Jr., and I think it was in Civil War, I can't remember what film it was, his voice is still good and it's useful. The problem is when the person is so elderly that their voice sounds elderly, it's a problem. I don't know if there's technology to use previous voice tracks to make it sound better. I think you can do that. It's hard work, but it's worth it. There's no point putting a young face on a 78, 79-year-old Harrison Ford, but you can see him limping, or walking unsteadily or having an old gravelly voice. That's not going to work. If they're going to do this, they have to do this properly. DC's new Superman honors the original in the perfect way. Newly revealed cover art for Superman, son of Kal-El, 1 pays homage to the original Superman as a new era begins and John Kent takes on his title by Ben Rolfe of Screen Rant. Okay, I'm sorry, just imagining Leto's Joker crying himself to sleep while mumbling, I'm funny, over and over again, just makes me laugh. It's a very good gag, isn't it? So this is by Ben Rolfe of Screen Rant. The cover, by the way, let's show it. Let's show the cover. Otherwise, what's the point? I think this is an awesome passing of the torch. And this really connects my thoughts to Superman and Lois. Because, interestingly, Superman and Lois could be telling the story of how young John becomes Superman, becomes the new Superman. Eventually, in the future, as we progress in this show, we could have flash forwards to John being Superman and working with his dad. How exciting would that be? Because I do believe John will develop powers, even though he hasn't got it. They're just trying to be unobvious about it. Now, what happens to Jordan is I think he will become an enemy. He will become young Superman's enemy, his brother John's enemy. And I think this is how they're developing this. This means this not only gives this show legs, but it's something they can use within their very own multiverse strategy. So I think it's very exciting. The cover art of Superman, Son of Kal-El 1 honours the original Superman in the perfect way. Superboy has been on a clear trajectory for a while as DC Comics position him to become the next Superman. It's clear that they see value in advancing Jonathan Kent's story and that making him Superman is a great way of expanding Kal-El's legacy. Although comic book storytelling offers endless opportunities, even for superheroes like Superman who are so iconic, they've basically become archetypes. Every once in a while, publishers like to shift key aspects of their major characters. In the case, that means the end of Clark Kent's time as Superman and his son's decision to take up the mantle. Basically, as great as this is, and it will be great, and I want to read it and everything, Kal-El, Superman, is always going to be Superman. So they'll do this title and it'll be great, but it'll be alongside other Superman titles as well. So don't worry about that. Over the years, Clark Kent has been predominantly depicted as the main Superman. However, on occasions, alternate versions of Superman have been introduced with Calvin Ellis, aka President Superman. That's the one I want to see in the movie. Currently enjoying renewed interest thanks to his importance to the new Infinite Frontier era. Likewise, Jonathan was shown as the Superman of the future in recent Flash Forward event, Future State. For the ex-Superboy, the progression was natural as he attempts to live up to the name his father made famous. Bobcat, that and I thought about more edgy gag of the atom shrinking and going inside girls and doing things that way. No, don't do it. Bobcat, these are all just ideas. We'll see what makes the cut. Yeah, definitely that shouldn't make the cut. Definitely. You're going to upset people. I mean, I don't give a shit about people being upset. I am who I am after all. But yeah, I think you probably could stay away from that unless you don't want to show anyone these things. In Superman, Son of Kal-El 1, by Tom Taylor and John Timms, Jonathan Kent officially becomes the new Superman. The new series is set to begin Jonathan's path to where he ended up in the future state as the official Superman of planet Earth. In a new tweet, writer Tom Taylor highlighted something very neat about the first issue's cover. Tim's artwork pays homage to the original Superman 1 cover-up by recreating the pose that Clark holds as he's suspended in midair, not to be confused with the iconic Action Comics 1 cover, which sees Superman lifting a car over his head. That's right. Jonathan, suited in his new Superman costume, holds the exact same position as he flies over Metropolis. Check out the two covers below. So these are the covers, very exciting. Can't really see them properly. I don't really want to click onto them. It takes me away from the article, but yeah, pretty cool, right? Really exciting. And I think this can be implemented in Superman and Lois, and this really excites me because this could be a dynasty of Superman stories, and enacted, right, in the multiverse strategy as well. Bobcat, do you know the Wonder Twins? A little bit, not much. It's extremely fitting as a new hero stars in their own first Superman issue, while calling back to the legacy that brought them to this point. Not only is there a new Superman, but the new series kicks off a new era of Superman as a concept, with Future State implying Kal-El will spend an extended period off planet. After spending some time in the future, John has learned that Superman will soon disappear thanks to unknown events, but it appears Clark will be there to officially pass the torch. As Taylor has revealed, the two will talk on the moon before John adopts his new title. Very, very exciting. It's unlikely that Kal-El will never again be Earth's main Superman, but DC seems to be preparing for a long stretch with John in the title role, long enough for readers to truly see the new things he brings to being Superman, and how being raised by the original informs the former Superboy's idea of what the name means going forward. For now, fans can get excited to see a new Superman on July the 13th as Clark Kent hands down his duties to his son in Superman, Son of Kal-El, #1. Very, very exciting. And as I've already said, you know, this is a great opportunity for the producers of Superman and Lois to kind of injunct this into their universe eventually. And a flash forward as young John as the new Superman would be fantastic. But what does this mean for Jordan? Bobcat, you know their powers, right? Not really. I saw them once on Smallville, I think, but I can't remember. I know absolutely jack shit about them, to be honest. Right, it's over to Star Wars and the Obi-Wan show now. Obi-Wan's set photos reveal how Ewan McGregor's costume is being hidden. New set photos from Obi-Wan Kenobi show how Ewan McGregor's costume is hidden as he prepares to film scenes for the upcoming Star Wars Disney Plus show by Cooper Hood of Screen Rant. Set photos from Obi-Wan Kenobi shows how the production is hiding Ewan McGregor's costume for the Disney Plus show series. Although the Star Wars prequels didn't have the best reputation upon their releases, one element of the films, I love them by the way, films that most praised was casting Ewan McGregor as a younger Obi-Wan. Fans spent years hoping for an announcement that he'd return to the role, and Lucasfilm finally made it official in 2019 instead of being a movie as once considered it should have been a movie. That's a shame. Obi-Wan Kenobi will now be one of many Star Wars shows on Disney+. The anticipation for Obi-Wan Kenobi is already tremendously high. All episodes of the series will be directed by Deborah Chow, who helmed some of the best episodes of The Mandalorian Season 1. The series will explore the former Jedi Master's life between Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and A New Hope. When is he supposed to be watching over a young Luke Skywalker on Tatooine? However, with the return of Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, and rumours of the Inquisitors appearing, the show could surprise viewers in several ways, and I certainly hope that it does. Ronnie Dodge, you vanished last night without saying goodbye. I thought you got the hump, mate. You know their powers, right? So they have to be together to activate them. That's right. And one can turn into any animal. One can turn into any object. That's correct. I remember now. Ronnie Dodge, morning, mate. Morning, Ronnie. Always great to see the Ronnie. Started early today because I've got to cook my roast later on. It's 20 past 10 here in Cyprus. So we are up. We are doing our entertainment update. Now, if you want to see how the show started, you can certainly do that. We were talking about James Gunn hinting that Henry Cavill's Superman is actually in his movie. Check that out. And since then, we've been having conversations. Bobcat's off on a tangent, and I'm humouring him like I normally do, and I'm reading these updates. And we're having a lot of fun doing so, or I am as well. So we have 5 people in the chat. 3 likes. Come on, people. Disney and Lucasfilm have been a bit more transparent with Obi-Wan Kenobi's production than the past shows, as the full cast list was announced when the film began. There have been a few looks at the production since it started, but now the first photos of Ewan McGregor have surfaced. Just Jared shared a large batch of photos that show the lengths Lucasfilm takes to keep secrets. McGregor and other Obi-Wan cast members were photographed wearing black cloaks to hide their costumes. The cloaks didn't totally conceal the costumes for a stormtrooper and a member of the Empire, but Ewan McGregor barely let a fragment of his costume show as he walked to the set. Yeah, there's really nothing to see here. It's basically that, but it's exciting to see him on the set, right? Bobcat. So basically, Batman doesn't get invited to his DC Heroes party, and the Wonder Twins are invited, and Batman complains they are useless. And the one who turns into objects says from a form of a disco ball, beaches. Ronnie Dodge, I thought I'd pop in briefly to say hello. Thank you, Ronnie. Always appreciated. Bobcat. Then it gets really loud, and Batman says this is almost as loud as Cyborg accusing studio workers of racism. That's a good one. And we do it a cutaway. Yeah, very good. I like that one. Right. These black cloaks are quite common for major productions as studios attempt to keep some elements of their shows hidden from paparazzi. Julia Louis-Dreyfus recently spoke about her experience with these cloaks while filming the secret role in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Ewan McGregor's involvement in Obi-Wan Kenobi isn't a surprise, though Ewan's cloak could be part of Lucasfilm's standard operating practices and not too consequential. But it might also be a sign that Obi-Wan will have slightly a new costume in the Disney Plus series. Giving Obi-Wan a new costume could be one of many ways that the show changes up what Star Wars fans expected him to be up to during this time. It was long thought that he didn't do much other than keeping an eye on Luke. It is safe to say that he'll do much more than that in the Disney Plus show, especially with the promise that Obi-Wan and Darth Vader will fight once more. Although Obi-Wan Kenobi is sure to end with McGregor back in the brown Jedi robe, some changes to his appearance won't be surprising and give Lucasfilm a chance for more merchandise opportunities. I mean, we wouldn't want to stop them doing that now, would we? But I'm very excited for this show. Please, Deborah Chow is a really good director. It looks like it's Favreau and co involved with this, hopefully, because if it is Kennedy, I would worry. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but very exciting. We're back to a DC Comics article because I'm taking umbrage over this. Right, let's give it a read. Right, I've read that, so we're up to date with the comments. Why Infinite Frontier is unlike any other DC event. According to writer Joshua Williamson, DC's Infinite Frontier miniseries is going to be completely different from any other post-crisis event. By Ben Rolfe of Screen Rant, DC Comics' upcoming Infinite Frontier miniseries is being told in a different way than any other post-crisis level event. The new miniseries will be what writer Joshua Williamson is calling Act 1 of the publisher's greater plans. The next year of comics is being written now, and the Infinite Frontier 1 will be the first stepping stone of the multiversal puzzle to come. It will follow a wide range of heroes on separate missions, with some of these heroes colliding with one another. Their efforts will lead to what DC teases will be an epic battle with the universe's greatest threat, Darkseid. Bobcat, also I thought of a gag about how no girls want to date the Flash because he finishes too fast. Yeah, I like that. I like that. In DC's history, crisis-level events are common occurrences. The term crisis is derived from Crisis on Infinite Earths, commonly regarded as the biggest timeline reset in comic book history. That storyline saw the destruction of many Earths, killing off many popular superheroes. It was all in an attempt to simplify the continuity by removing confusion about the multiverse's different Earths. For me, it was never confusing. And an alternate heroes naturally. As it goes in comics, nothing is set in stone. Characters like Supergirl, who were killed, have since returned in many different forms and iterations. In Infinite Frontier by Joshua Williamson, Mandico and Romulo Farajo Jr., the superhero's perspective isn't the focus. This is what I don't like. Williamson posted on Twitter that most of the miniseries will be told from a grounded perspective. You never want that. You never want that. You're here to see these superheroes from their perspectives. This is not what you want to see. Showcasing Infinite Frontier's heroes from angles not normally covered. It's interesting that Williamson chose to take this approach because it's an inherent risk that if readers don't get enough of the leading characters, they might feel disconnected. On the other hand, it might be a great move as it's something that is brand new for DC. Personally, once I hear it's not from the superhero's perspective, I'm not interested. I'm not going to want to read it. That's my perspective. Bobcat, you guys are my test audiences. Lol, test away. Williamson's grounded angle can be seen in the artwork. Yeah, so you can see. But please don't tell me this is going to be how they do the whole story, people looking up at the heroes, right? We need to see their perspective. Hopefully the written story is in their perspective at least. Williamson's grounded angle can be seen in the article that he released, which showcases two citizens looking up at Alan Scott, aka the JSA's Green Lantern, and his son, Obsidian. What would normally happen in that? The sole perspective would be focusing on the hero's actions. The civilians, if at all shown, are seen as secondary to them. It's understandable that this perspective isn't commonplace, as readers primarily come for the superheroes. No, really? In the case of the artwork, the two people are the eyes of the reader. We are seeing the action unfold from their point of view, but we've already got our own point of view. We don't need their point of view. The choice to go ahead with this style is bold and risky, but it could, as Williamson supposedly intends, emphasize the sheer scale of Infinite Frontier's aftermath. With Darkseid on the way, if this perspective is sustained throughout the miniseries, he could be even scarier than he's ever been before. Looking at Darkseid from a normal human point of view would be completely different from, say, Superman, although most big post-crisis issues are not told in a manner like this. Avid DC Comics readers are sure to at least give it a shot, as Infinite Frontier 1 hits shelves on June the 22nd. I think it's a terrible idea. It's not just risky, there's no point to it. We're here for the superheroes. Yeah, a couple of frames seeing people look up is cool, but please don't base the whole fucking story around this. Let's see what happens. Also, people making fun of Dick Grayson because he used to wear booty shorts in the comics. Bobcat, like he's sitting on Batgirl as Nightwing, and someone says she know about your thing for booty shorts, or people keep calling him booty shorts. Jurassic World 3 trailer won't be releasing for a while. Exclusive, Colin Trevorrow has no idea when the full trailer of Jurassic World 3 will drop, but he says there will be many teasers before the premiere by Saeed Fadullah Hassani of Screen Rant. A trailer for Jurassic World Dominion won't be out anytime soon. Originating in 1993, the highly successful movie by Steven Spielberg, the Jurassic Park movie franchise was later retooled by Colin Trevorrow, who released the first Jurassic World film in 2015. The movie was a massive hit at the box office, and it spawned a sequel, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Helmed by J.A. Bayona, now a third film, Jurassic World Dominion, is also in the pipeline, and it is expected to give the Jurassic World trilogy a super-sized farewell. Again, no one officially has said this is a farewell, apart from Screen Rant, so let them have their own little tangent there. Plot details for the upcoming movie are still slim, although Universal Pictures has already scheduled it for the theatrical release on June the 10th, 2022. I tell you what, next year is going to be an amazing year to be going back to movie theatres, right? So much content. Though very little is known about Jurassic World Dominion, the movie has still managed to create a lot of buzz, mostly thanks to the talents that have been announced for the film. Jurassic World's mainstays Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and B.D. Wong are all returning for the third movie, as are Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum, who headlined Spielberg's Jurassic Park films. Previously, Trevorrow had indicated that he was planning to kick off the marketing campaign for Jurassic World Dominion soon. He had even hinted towards the arrival of a trailer, leaving fans decidedly enthusiastic, but now it appears that the wait to catch the first glimpse of Jurassic World Dominion will be longer, as Trevorrow is skeptical about the starting promotions. Right, we'll see what he actually says if they have a quote for us, because they have actually. Read it in a minute. So when you get the details of what someone says, sometimes these people are just doing clickbait. In his exclusive interview with Screen Rant ahead of the F9's IMAX preview, Trevorrow revealed that he doesn't know when the full trailer for Jurassic World Dominion will drop. He said that he's currently working on making a trailer available to everyone, and he can't wait for audiences to catch his movie in cinemas next year. While Trevorrow's comments may offer disheartening news concerning Jurassic World Dominion's trailer, there is still a silver lining, as his remarks suggest that there will be plenty of trailers before the movie goes up in theatres. I don't know yet, but this is what we're doing for everyone. Hopefully many people will be able to see this as possible, but I promise there will be trailers galore. I just can't wait for everyone to come and see the movie next year. It's going to be a blast. Screen Rant, Mr. Fadullah, listen to me. Not one line here has this director, Colin Trevorrow, said there's not a trailer coming soon and there's not promotions coming soon. He said he's cutting the trailer now, right? That's it. That's it. No delays in promotion. He said the other day it's coming soon. That means it's coming soon. This really is a clickbait article, and it's very disappointing. And I'm